Hi, I want to share 10 clear signs that you're an empath. Not just sensitive in a good way, but programmed to be sensitive and empathetic in ways that hurt your sense of self and your relationships. I'm Jerry Wise, and for over 45 years, I've helped hundreds of thousands of people get their narcissistic and dysfunctional families out of them, so they can finally reclaim their true self and find clarity, peace, and lasting freedom. Number 1, you absorb the other people's emotions like they were your own. In narcissistic and dysfunctional families, you weren't allowed to have your own feelings. You were trained to read the emotional temperature of the room and tune into others to stay safe. You soaked up everyone's pain and anxiety as a survival strategy. As an adult, this leaves you carrying emotions that aren't even yours. You feel drained, confused, and unsure which feelings belong to you and which ones belong to others. Not all feelings are equal. And when we have that confusion, it makes it hard to stay grounded in your own true self and to focus on your own true feelings and not the absorption of other people's feelings. Number 2, you feel responsible for fixing everyone else's pain. Narcissistic parents taught you that their pain was your responsibility. You were programmed to soothe their moods, manage their stress, and keep the peace because your own worth was measured by how well you took care of them. Adult children of narcissists often become very other-focused, but not in a good way. I don't mean charity, compassion, and empathy. I mean anxious focus on others. As an adult, you feel compelled to rescue, to fix, and to overfunction in relationships and life. You confuse compassion with responsibility, leaving you exhausted and entangled in other people's emotional worlds. Number 3, you struggle to know where you end and others begin. Dysfunctional families don't allow self-differentiation, meaning for you to become you and not them. You weren't allowed to say no or to have your own thoughts, feelings, and preferences and to be your own person. Or if you tried, that all had to be done in secret and not openly and not guided or supported or helped. This narcissistic family emotional system made you ignore your boundaries and become the false self your family super self needed you to be. As an adult, you lose track of your own needs. You merge with others' emotions and opinions, making it hard to know who you really are apart from them. This keeps you tied to a borrowed self instead of your own true self. Number 4, you feel easily overwhelmed in crowds or chaotic environments. Growing up in a chaotic narcissistic family system, you became hypervigilant to emotional shifts. You had to scan constantly for danger, threats, rage, criticism, abuse, or bullying, or put-downs, trying to anticipate moods, and you had to work to avoid conflict. As an adult, crowded or emotionally charged spaces leave you anxious and depleted. You take on the group's energy like it's your own, and your own energy gets easily consumed by others. And you leave feeling overstimulated, unsettled, anxious, drained, and depleted. Many of us have become so used to these feelings, we don't even notice the anxiety, tension, and discomfort that we feel. Number 5, you carry guilt and shame when you put yourself first. Narcissistic parents taught you that putting yourself first was selfish. Any attempt to care for yourself was shamed, twisted, or punished until you learned to abandon yourself for their sake, or for the family's sake, or for the narcissistic parent's sake. As an adult, prioritizing your needs triggers systems guilt and systems shame. the false guilt you carry from your dysfunctional family's emotional Wi-Fi, the pressure to feel responsible for others' needs, moods, and approval, instead of being free to live as your true self. Number 6, you attract narcissists and emotionally needy people. Dysfunctional families trained you to overgive and under-receive. You became the one who always prioritizes others and puts yourself last. You absorb the people's needs as if it is your own needs and neglect your own needs. As an adult, this pattern draws narcissists and needy people towards you. They sense your willingness to overfunction and focus on others' needs while neglecting your own, leaving you trapped in a draining, one-sided relationship that replays your family of origin dynamics. For many years, I put out all kinds of messages that I was here to be of help to anyone. Please come and make me your caretaker, and make me the one who empathizes with you, sympathizes with you, gives you, tries to fix you. For example, I will be the first to smile or speak to someone. I will continue a conversation with someone new even when I don't really want to. I will ask them in covert or overt ways about their welfare. I'm quick to overlook signals of risk or signs of toxicity. I felt myself wanting to bond too quickly. I wanted to quickly be who they needed me to be. I painted all of this as being a good person, a good spiritual person, a loving person, a caring, compassionate person. But I did these things in a naive way, an automatic way, and not seeing clearly the push and pull in relationship systems. For example, they may want to become friends or partners way too soon, which felt great to me, and they may want to say things to me which would distract me from their bad behavior, believing their words and not their behavior. Empaths so many times tend to do that. Again, it is good to be a good person. It's good to be a spiritual person, a loving person, and a caring, compassionate person. But the healthiest and best way to be those things is to have a strong and solid self, not a self programmed from our family of origin. Number 7, you mistake enmeshment for empathy. Your narcissistic family called it love and caring when you lost yourself to care for them. They blurred boundaries and enmeshed with you, making it feel normal to absorb their struggles as if they were your obligation. They programmed you to believe enmeshment was empathy. As an adult, you confuse emotional fusion with compassion and with caring. You don't just care, you dissolve into others' lives. You develop a form of empathy that is toxic, where others use it against you because you don't know how to be empathetic towards yourself. Healthy empathy gets lost, and you're left exhausted, resentful, and unsure where you disappeared in the process. Number 8, you feel invisible or unseen. In narcissistic families, you were valued only for what you provided. Your caretaking, your compliance, your silence, your authentic self wasn't allowed to show up. And as an adult, no one recognizes the real you beneath all that you give. You may give endlessly to others, but deep down you feel invisible, like no one truly notices or values who you really are. Number 9, you confuse calmness with danger. Dysfunctional families often had calm moments that weren't safe. They were simply the pause before the next eruption. They were the eye of the storm. They were the calm before the storm. You learn to fear quiet and peaceful moments waiting for the storm to hit. As an adult, peace feels unfamiliar, even threatening. You live in a state of emotional hypervigilance, always scanning others' moods and unable to relax into calm without expecting chaos. And I remember for me so many times when things went well, I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And when things are peaceful and going good, it must have to come to an end soon. Don't trust this. Number 10, you feel drained and overwhelmed very easily. Growing up with narcissistic parents trained you to be constantly available, emotionally, mentally, and physically. You had no choice but to give your energy and to give that energy away to keep them satisfied, while ignoring your own needs, preferences, and limits. As an adult, this dynamic often continues. Even time with caring people can leave you feeling depleted. Not because of them, because you never had the chance to build healthy inner boundaries. You never learned how to stay emotionally detached or honor your own limits and preferences, even when others disapprove. Without this inner foundation, you absorb and carry the emotions of others long after the interaction ends, leaving you emotionally overloaded, overwhelmed, flooded, and exhausted emotionally. If you're ready to finally break free and start living with clarity, peace, and a grounded connection to your true self, then join my Road to Self program. Many who've joined said it was the missing piece in their healing journey, the step that finally helped them get their family out of them and stand strong as their true self. I would encourage you to read the testimonials. We will never put up a testimonial that is not real and not real from a real person who has been involved in the program. These are all unsolicited. You take a look at them and you decide. If you are not sure if the Road to Self program is for you right now, then start with my free 84-minute self-differentiation training. Over 30,000 people have joined the free training as their first step. Click the links in the description to get started. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you'll never miss a new video. I want to thank you for watching. Have a great day and be wise.